Hello there, this is Sage, and I'm here with the first Let's Play I've put out in a very, very long time. Has to have been several months. A Let's Play of Pokemon Emerald. Now, something went wrong with the commentary recording, which I'm not going to go into detail about because it's a bit hard to explain. But due to that, I have to record post-commentary, which I've never done before, but I'll do my best. Anywho, we're watching the opening movie. Now, this is done through a Visual Boy Advance, which is the only type of Let's Play I can do right now until I get the necessary recording equipment to continue the Wii and GameCube Let's Plays I was doing. Sorry about that. But anyway, let's dive right in. Okay, since this is a Visual Boy, there's no internal battery, which means clock-based events can't happen. Which means not only you can't grow berries, and you can't get berries every day from several people. You can only get the berries once. But as we begin the game, we meet Professor Birch, which is Hoenn's Pokemon professor. He demonstrates to us what a Pokemon is, and you may notice that the sprite moved. It's a fact that Pokemon Emerald is the first Pokemon game to feature moving sprites. And this is when I create my character. I'm a girl, of course. And so, here you can see me name my character after my internet handle, Sage. And so, I move into Professor Birch's hometown, which is Littlebrook Town. Oh, man, the video seized up for a bit, but it stopped. Alright. Now, when we move in, for some reason, my character is riding in the back of the moving van, which is extremely dangerous, not to mention dark. You're letting me out? Air! And there's my mom, waiting in the house. Darn right, it was tiring. A quaint feel. Are you sure this isn't just a cul-de-sac? Because there's only 3 buildings in the whole town. And as we go inside the house, we see that Vigoroth are putting our things away. How can they do that without opposable thumbs, I wonder? Yay, I got a clock from my daddy! Okay, I go into the options here and set the text speed to fast, which should make the dialogue a lot less of a pain. Alright, now, I go to my PC here, because the first thing you want to do is withdraw an item from the PC, because you have an item, which is a potion. That'll help you out a lot. And then, oh, I've got an orange GameCube, I noticed that. And I go to my clock, which is all cute and pink, and I set the time. Now, at the time I recorded this, it was 7:35 p.m. There's not really a point to this, since clock-based events don't occur, but you have to set the clock in order to proceed, so yeah, you gotta set the clock. Now, after you set the clock, your mom comes back in, asks how you like your room, everyone's finished moving in. Then she asks you to check your desk, which is probably her telling you to withdraw the potion, But all that's there is a notebook, which if you've played Pokemon before doesn't have anything you should know already, but if you're new, you might want to give it a look. Oh, a news report about my dad! Ah, I'm too late. Too bad. One of my dad's friends lives in town. His name is Professor Birch. Okay, so now I gotta go next door and introduce myself to the neighbors, which is the only neighbors we have in this entire town, which are... I have bad grammar today. So I introduce myself to Professor Birch's wife, I assume. And now... who's he? Or she? His youngest child? And now... I go into this room. Ooh, a Pokeball! Let's take it. Oh, no! I wasn't touching it! Who am I? Who am I? I'm not a guy! Oh, so your name is Brendan. Hey! If you're supposed to be going out to help your dad, why did you get on the computer? You must be a tech head like me. Alright, so now I proceed towards the northern exit of Little Root Town, the only exit. And then this kid tells me about what's going on. Oh! Professor Birch is in trouble! He's being chased by a rabid raccoon! Rabies is nothing to play with! Oh, so you have to go to his bag. And now comes the choice. The starter Pokemon choice. Here I profile the 3 starter Pokemon, the water Pokemon, Mudkip, the fire Pokemon, Torchic, and the grass Pokemon, Trico. These are the profile screens I drew up for the 3 starters. It will show their species name, species classification, type, ability, base stats, evolutions, and evolution methods. Under normal circumstances, a Let's Player would give an in-depth explanation of each Pokemon, their abilities and stats, their abilities in battle, that is. But I'm not really good at that sort of thing, because not only do I not care much about stats, but I was never a competitive battler, and that's mostly what the stats are important to, competitive battling. So I may or may not give explanations of the Pokemon in that way, leaning more towards may not, because I'm just that bad at describing stats. So this information should be enough for now. The one I pick is Trico. And now we face the rabid raccoon. This battle is fairly simple. A level 5 starter against a level 2 Zigzagoon should be no trouble at all. Well, it would take longer since my attack keeps getting lowered. One more pound did the trick. And I get some EXP for my troubles. EXP. Experience points! Yeah, that's what they're called, experience points. Okay. So, I teleport to Professor Birch's lab. And he was so impressed by my battling skills that he decides to let me have the Pokemon. And I do give a nickname to the Trico. And since my name is Sage, which is, Spice, I decide to name my Trico after a spice as well. That spice being... drumroll... oregano! And after that, Professor Birch advises us to go talk to Brendan and have him give us some pointers. And now we begin the long walk to wherever Brendan is. Well, I know where Brendan is. He's up on Route 103, but to get there we have to pass through Route 101. There's tall grass on Route 101, and you can run into legendary... I'm not legendary, but wild Pokemon, like I just did there. But since you don't have any Pokeballs, you can't catch any Pokemon yet. Now, I'm going to, be profiling the Pokemon that you can find on each route, and those will be in special mini featurettes that I'm going to squeeze in later. Anyway, this Wurmple is no trouble, since it doesn't know any damaging bug-type moves. If it did, Oregano would be in trouble. Alright, now we're in Oldale Town, which is another tiny town. If you talk to the Pokemart worker, he'll tell you about the Pokemart and give you a free potion. You'll want to go to Pokemarts in the future in order to buy medicine to heal your Pokemon. Alright, now here's where I abuse a Visual Boy feature. I'm too impatient to show all of a Pokemon healing, so I fast forward it. But, yeah, that's a Pokemon Center. You'll want to visit those often as well to heal up your Pokemon. So, passing through Oldale Town up into Route 103, and running into another wild Pokemon. Ah, it's another rabid raccoon! Alright, I'm just joking. Zigzagoon aren't really rabid. But I run since I don't have the time. And there's Brendan! Just have to go through this patch of grass, and we meet a rabid dog. No, not rabid. A Poochyena. Alright, we run from that, then we go over and talk to Brendan. Now, Brendan is going to be your rival. Since he's your rival, you'll be battling him several times throughout your journey. And he has his own starter Pokemon, which is a Torchic. Your rival's starter will be different depending on which starter you chose. And while I'm at it, the identity of your rival will be dependent on the gender you chose for your character at the beginning of the game, and I'll be going into detail about that. Alright, so this battle shouldn't be too hard. I mean, your rival starter will have a type advantage against yours, but this early on, your starters won't know any damaging moves of their own type, so it just comes down to those weak, normal type moves. Pound, Scratch, Pound for Trico, Scratch for Torchic, and Tackle for Mudkip. Alright, I'm forced to heal Oregano here because his Torchic is really stubborn. But I end up taking him down, and Oregano grows to level 6. And learns Absorb. I've got to... Oh! I forgot. He jumped another level. Oh, I'm not just shabby. I'm fabulous! He compliments my battling skills, of course. And so, he leads us back to his dad's lab, so that means I gotta take another long walk. I head back to the Pokemon Center for another quick healing. I don't know how well fast-forwarding factors into recording. It's looking a bit laggy from where I stand. I'm heading back to my dad's. Yeah, I'm hustling back. I can't hustle because I don't have the running shoes yet. Hold your horses. Alright, we arrive back in Little Root Town. And enter the lab. And get more congratulations from Professor Birch. And he gives us a Pokédex. One of the main goals in a main goal in all Pokemon games is to fill up your Pokédex, which means you have to catch Pokemon of all types. Bleh, I can't talk today. And after that, your rival will give you Pokeballs, which means you're now able to catch your own Pokemon. And now that that business is concluded, I can head out on my journey for real. Oh wait, there's my mom. And she's going to give me a pair of running shoes, which means I can now run and not have to walk everywhere. You know, running shoes weren't around in the original Pokemon games. I don't think I could play them if I have to walk everywhere. And so... Okay, intermission time. Now that we're able to catch Pokemon, I'm going to go over the Pokemon you can find and catch on Route 101. First is Zigzagoon. Zigzagoon has good speed and defense, but not much practical use in battle. But it's great as an HM slave. It can learn Cut, Surf, Rock Smash, and once it evolves into Linoon, Strength. But if you want to use Linoon, that wouldn't be a terrible idea, because it has great speed. Next is Wurmple. When it comes to evolution, Wurmple is one of the most interesting Pokemon out there, as it can evolve into 2 forms based on a delicate mathematical formula, which I won't bother going into. It can also evolve into one of my favorite Pokemon ever, which is Beautifly. It can also evolve into a Dustox, but I'm not really that into Dustox. And whether it evolves into Beautifly or Dustox depends on whether it evolves into Silcoon or Cascoon, because Silcoon evolves into Beautifly and Cascoon evolves into Dustox. And lastly, we have Poochyena. Poochyena has great attack, and when it evolves into Mightyena, it has even better attack. No brainer. The first time I beat the Pokemon League on Pokemon Sapphire, I had a Mightyena in my party, so if you want to use a Mightyena, that's not a bad idea. Nah. Okay, end of intermission. And so I run out. Oh, wait. There I run into my first wild Pokemon, a Wurmple, and I decide to capture it. Now, the best way to capture Pokemon is to lower their HP first. She decides to lower my speed there with String Shot. But I think this is a prime time to throw a Pokeball, which I do. Let's see if we can catch this. 1 shake, 2 shake, 3 shake, click. And I've caught my first Pokemon, a Wurmple. Wurmple's data gets added to the Pokédex. It sticks to tree branches and eats leaves. The thread it spits from its mouth, which becomes gooey when it touches air, slows the movement of its foes. And of course I give this Wurmple a nickname. Takes me a little bit to think of one. But I do think of one. Come on, past self, haven't you come up with it yet? Oh, no! Ah, my computer went on sleep mode while I was watching the video. I need to remember that. But anyway, I named the Wurmple Sakura, after a beloved anime character, which is Sakura Kinomoto from Cardcaptor Sakura, but I watched the English anime as a kid, which was Card Captors. I'm told that the Japanese version is much better. I should take a look at it. But anyway, now comes the end of the part. Next time on Pokemon Emerald, we will continue on our journey, and hopefully I'll be able to do live commentary. Until next time, see ya!